Okay, full pelters. Well, here's the new Royal Enfield Street Scrambler, the Interceptor Bear 650. Now this bike sort of pays homage to the big bear race in the Mojave Desert in America, where in 1960, a 16-year-old lad, Eddie Mulder, rode a Royal Enfield 500cc Fury to win that race. And his actual race number was 249. And that's hence the 249 paint scheme on this particular one. Now the looks of the bike, I'm giving it 10 out of 10. This looks absolutely fantastic. Back in 2019 at the Melbourne Motorcycle Show, they with the launch of the 650 Interceptor, there was so much hype around the Interceptor at that time. Anyway, I rocked up at that show and they actually had a Interceptor stripped down, took all the lights off it. They added number plates on the side just like we have here. Also a number plate up the front where the headlight is, put knobby tyres on it, and they had it in like a flat tracker form, and it looked magnificent. Absolutely looked a real killer bike, and this is pretty close to what they had back then, so you know, nearly 6 years later. Yeah, it comes in 5 different paint schemes, and yeah, this is the most expensive one. I think the base model is 11,490 right away here in Australia, and then there's 3 other colours that are $200 dearer, and this particular colour is the top of the range. It's $400 dearer, so that brings the price up to 11,890. Yeah, so the engine is the 648cc parallel twin. I think it's 270 degree crank as well. It produces 47 horsepower, and with this particular, the Bear 650, they've increased the torque by 8%, so it's up to 56 Newton meters of torque. Maybe due to the pipe, not sure, but they've tweaked it somehow to get that out. It's an air-cooled, oil-cooled engine. You can see the oil cooler up the front there. And there's the pipe set up. There's the oil filter down the front there. So yeah, I would fit a bash plate to this bike if you can. I'm sure you can. I'm sure the accessories are all there for this bike. You want to check the website. And I'll give you a look at the other side. Electronic fuel injected. It's electric start. It's got a 6-speed gearbox. There's the gear selector there. Fairly robust. So yeah, this foot peg is just bolted straight to the frame there, and then there's just the linkage system there. So it's just held to the frame right there, and it's got rubber inserts riding the bike, getting no vibrations. Very smooth engine, and it uses the oil I recommend is 10W50, a fully synthetic oil. So I'll go over the dimensions. The ground clearance is 184 mil, and now that's up 10 mil on the Interceptor, and that would be in part with the suspension as well. We'll go over that in a minute. The length is 2,216 mil, which is 94 mil longer than the Interceptor. And I think they've changed the rake. The rake on the forks there too, which probably brings the length out a bit, and that helps with its stability as well. The width is 855 millimeters, which is going to be the bars. The handlebars are sort of wide-ish, giving it that scrambler look, I suppose. But I find them pretty good, pretty comfy. And the seat height's 830 mil, which is another 26 mil higher than the Interceptor. So at 5'8", I'm on the balls of my feet when I'm sitting on the bike, and the seat is an absolute cracker. You can get the camera out of there. Got Royal Enfield embossed in it there. I'll come over this side, but you can see, might be able to see the pattern in the seat. Look at that. The shape of it's really cool. Now the curb weight is 214 kilos, so this is one of my beefs with the bike. It is heavy. Now I did get a comment from one of my viewers saying that they bought the Gorilla and it was purely because of the weight. They preferred the lesser weight, and you do feel it when you're moving the bike around, that the weight of this bike. But look, honestly, have a look at the frame. The frame on this is like, it is strong. Beautiful welds. It is bolted. You can see it's bolted there. So this section all the way down here, and then it's bolted there, down in there, as you can see that. So it's a tubular steel frame. There is a little grab handle at the back there. This is bolted on under there. And also on this side, you've got this little grab handle right there. I want to take the seat off, just give you a look at that. And how we achieve that is there's a key. You put the key in there, turn it, and then there's two lugs just up at the top here, and this section comes out. So I'll do that. Here's the key. Turn that, and then just pulls out. And then, yeah, it's just on a couple of rubber lugs here. A little bit sticky. There's the side cover. Tool kit right there. And then here's the lever you pull for the cable to release the seat. There we go, pulling it. Just lift it off. There's the seat. And there's, yeah, underneath the seat. And down in here, well, I'll get the screw there. Apparently undo that screw there, and then the left-hand side cover pops off as well. And inside there is the air filter. Just a quick video on getting to the air filter. So I've removed the seat. There's a screw just down in there that you have to remove. Just the one screw. Then you can pull this out. Try and pull this out. There's that rubber grommet, and then you've got to pull it up. And you can see there's a rubber grommet there. And that there. And that gets the side cover off. And there's the air filter cover right there. Okay, so I've just undone the three screws. There's the cover there, so you can see where the air comes in from that vent. There's the air filter there, so the air goes in here and is filtered into the airbox and into the engine. So pretty easy to change the air filter. So fairly easy access to that. But yeah, have a look at the frame. All the welds look nice. You can get an idea of the thickness of it right there. This particular piece seems fairly thin. I don't know whether that's the same with the whole frame, but when you stand back and have a look at that, gives you a good idea of the frame. Now the suspension on the bike, we'll go up the front. The front's got the, well, it's got some Showa upside down forks. Not adjustable, but that's okay. It's got 130mm of travel. There you go, Showa forks. And I love the spoke wheels too. Not cast, they're spoked. And this is a 19-inch front wheel. The front brake is a hydraulic disc brake, 320mm twin piston Bribey. Did I say that right? Bribey. Get that wrong every time. Bribey disc, 320mm, and that's the same as the Interceptor as well. And there's the tyres. The tyres look very similar to the Pirelli STR in pattern, but obviously this is a cheaper Indian brand. So the rear shocks are twin Showa shocks at the back. I'll come around to the side here so So in the sunlight, got it set on the softest setting. After having ridden it a little bit, I found that it was set on the second hardest setting, and that was way too hard, but on the softest setting seems to be really good now. So there's 115 mil of travel compared to 88 mil with the Interceptor, and yeah, there's just the preload adjustment on those shocks. They look pretty good. The rear disc brake, single piston 270 mil disc, which is up on the Interceptor at 240 on the Interceptor, so 270 on the Bear. And there's a close-up of the rear tyre. Very similar to the STRs. And the brakes, they both work really well. So yeah, very impressed with the brakes. There's the brake pedal. It's a fairly beefy brake pedal. Only got a very small brake reservoir for the rear, but all seems to work really well. The rear brake is ABS is switchable, so you can turn it off for your off-road work. The front you can't. So, and yeah, you just see there's not a lot of movement there to activate the brake. Only problem I did have was my foot. You sort of had to sit your foot out to the side if you're sitting on your foot on the arch of your foot. If you have your foot straight, it would tend to rest on that, and it only needs a little bit of movement to activate that brake. So you could possibly be riding along and activating that brake. So that's not a good thing. So I had to have my foot sort of kicked out to the side a bit to make sure that wasn't happening. Or you put the ball of your foot on the peg, and yeah, no issues there. And I did find that my boot was sort of resting against this part of the engine as well a fair bit. So just things to be mindful of when I was riding the bike. And on the other side, and just take notice, there are guards here, little guards here, so if your leg or knee does come close to there, at least you've got your protection from it not touching the engine. And yeah, I would find that on this side my leg would be pretty much resting against that guard there. So yeah, and you would feel the heat off the engine as well, or you do. So that's probably a good thing in the winter, not so great in the summer, but that's okay. You just hang your leg out a bit if you're finding it too warm. The tank's beautiful. I love the tank. It could have been wider here. They've sort of scalloped it out a little bit, but they're probably going for some looks there. But yeah, it's okay. Fuel filler cap here, had no issues there. Just pull that back, key in there. I'll go through that process. It's as simple as that. Then put it back in, just press it down. And there's the exhaust. Like I say, that's okay. Your pillion pegs right there. But it's got a nice little note to it. Get a look underneath. And then there's a guard over the pipe there. I think that's just to cover up the pipe here. Probably doesn't look all that good there where the pipes join, so they've just sort of covered that up to sort of hide that join. And it's got dual horns. Okay, yeah, I'll bip the horns because it's got a bit of a unique sound. So I better do that when I ride it. Yep. So the electrics, we can just have a look up the front here. 12 volt system. It's got a 12 volt battery. There's your electric start right there. The battery is a 12 ampere hour VRLA type battery. All the lights, blinkers are all LED. So they're all good and nice and big. The blinkers are great visibility. And the back here, me personally, I like this rear setup. They're fairly big and bright, and they'll keep you safe. So this is the same as the Himalayan and the Gorilla, which is the 4-inch TFT screen. Hope you can see that. It does have phone connectivity, full map navigation by Google Maps, media controls, and there is a USB charging point somewhere. I've got to locate that yet, but I'll point that out when I find it. So yeah, I find the instrument cluster really easy to read, and give you a look at each side. I hope the camera's picking that up. There's your blinkers, there's your headlight, your high and low beam and passing, it's all on there. Blinkers left and right and cancel, there's your horn, oh there's the horn. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And here's your joystick down here. The handlebars are really good. I like the grips as well. They've sort of got that oval sort of shape to them. They're very comfy, got the Royal Enfield printed on them. You can see over there, so these bars are a little bit wider, and you got a little, padded bit across the brace there. The mirrors, I think, stick with the theme, so they're good. You virtually get no vibration through these mirrors, so they work really well. The angle on these bars is sort of tilted forward a bit compared to the forks. I like the bend to be sort of in line with the forks, and the ergonomics of this bike really suit taller riders. So I'm 5'8", I can only just get on the balls of my feet when I'm sitting on the bike. A taller rider would be really suited to this bike. I found that I was leaning forward to get to the bars, so here I would pull the bars back for me, and I think that would work a lot better for me. They are LAMS approved. I think that'd be a perfect LAMS bike. So for your learners, this would be a fantastic bike for your learners. 3-year unlimited kilometre warranty and a 3-year roadside assist. And I'm not sure of the service intervals yet, but I'll put that up, certainly put that up on the screen if I do find out where they are, what the intervals are for you. Anyway, that concludes the the review there, the walk around. So I'll just jump on it, go for a little bit of a squirt, and just give you my thoughts on the bike. And yeah, we'll go from there. What a cool bike. Okay guys, I'm going to jump on the bike, take it for a bit of a squirt, and just give you my thoughts. So yeah, you do feel a bit of the weight when you're getting on the bike. The stand does lean over a fair bit, which I think is a good thing. Sounds good. Let's go. So beautiful and smooth, as you would expect. This 648cc parallel twin 270-degree crank Royal air-cooled engine is a beauty, absolute beauty. And what did I say, 47 horsepower. So that's great, that's enough just to cruise around on. And it's got some bite there if you want it. These aren't high performance bikes, as everyone would know. These are just cruisers, and this bike will certainly take you pretty much wherever you want to go. It'll do dirt roads, no worries. Certainly do all your urban work. It'll turn heads. Makes you feel good when you're riding it, when you know you're on a good looking bike. Makes you want to grab it on a day like today, have a look at it, not a cloud in the sky. It's going to be 33 degrees Celsius today. Absolute cracking day for motorcycling. Yeah, so 80 kilometres an hour speed limit here, so in 4th gear, 80 kilometres an hour, it's doing 4,200 revs. I'll bring it up to 5th. Those revs drop down to about 3,800. I'll drop it up to 6th. And yeah, I'd say about 3,300, 3,400, something like that. All right, 100 kilometres an hour, let's go. Yeah, the mirrors are great, very clear, easy to see what's behind you, up above your elbows or out of the way, so that's great. At 100 kilometres an hour in 6th gear. Yeah, just doing, I don't know, say 4,200 rev. Yeah, just coming down into this creek here, and the brakes are good, just one finger on the front brake. Don't even need the back brake, but I'll just try the back brake. Yeah, both brakes are good. Clutch is light. Gearbox is silky smooth. Gee, that's such a good engine, this 650. We'll just have a look at a little bit of the acceleration here. First, so we're in second. Third. Fourth. Alright, we're just entering a 110 kilometre hour zone now, so that's a bit of an uphill here too, so it's just in 6th gear. There's 110. 4,800 revs. Hardly even got the throttle cracked. It's just purring along at 110. Alright, we've got a gravel road coming up, so we'll just see how it handles on the gravel. I reckon it'll be great. Suspension, like I say, on the blacktop seems a bit firm, or a little firm, but that comes into its own when you go off-road like this. And yeah, it feels great. Really good. A lot of little rocks and that on the road here. Just soaking those up, no problem. Kick it into 6th. Yeah, suspension's working well. Alright, we'll take it along this track. This is a sort of a fairly rough track in a way. So yeah, just standing up on the pegs at the moment. See how it goes. It'll do it, no worries. Well, I've just reset the trip counter, I've just refueled here, so it's got a full tank of juice, so at some point I'll refuel it again and we'll look at the distance, and that way we'll be able to work out the fuel economy. So this is black, there's no street lights here. So yeah, the low beam to me is a bit short. It's good, nice and wide, but it doesn't throw a beam very far ahead. Now I've chucked it on high beam, and yeah, it throws it out a little bit more. There we go, there's some Christmas lights. Very nice. Yeah, so if you're travelling at night, yeah, you can't really see all that far in front. There's a jet coming in to Tullamarine. There's a low beam there. So yeah, Good throw of light, but pretty short. Put on neutral, stand down. Does sit over a fair bit on the stand. Anyway, there's the headlight, which looks good, nice and bright. There's the tail light. So yeah, I like the tail light. That's a good size. People can see it, that lights up the number plate really well. It's bang on the blinker. Where's the blinker? Blinker over here. Is it? Blinkers and oh, look at that. Yeah, they're great. Nice and big. Probably, I suppose some people might think they're too big, but boy, visibility wise, fantastic. Look up the front. Yeah, they're good. No, that's great. Love the lighting on this thing. Alright guys, we're just going to refuel the bike. Now, according to the trip counter, I've done 151, nearly 152 kilometres since I refueled it. And it's saying I've averaged 26.6 kilometres per litre. So if that's the case, I should have used about 6 litres if it's getting that sort of fuel economy. So we'll see how we go. Won't get much more in there. So 6.47 litres. So yeah, this is getting around about 4 litres 100. So that's about, yeah, you'll get around about 340 range just off the top of my head. Okay guys, well I hope you enjoyed that review on the new Royal Enfield Interceptor Bear 650. What a cracking bike, absolutely loved it. Love the look of the bike. So definitely if you're interested in this bike, go and test ride it, check it out for yourself. So a big thank you again to Noel and Damo at Essendon Motorcycles and Mowers for letting me have the opportunity to test ride these new models when they come out. I don't get paid by them to do this, they just give me a call and say, hey Pete, there's a new model, come and grab it. And I've got this bike for 2 days just to get a bit of a feel for it and do a bit of a comprehensive review for you guys. Hope you enjoyed that, hope you enjoyed my thoughts. Please leave your comments down below. I do enjoy your comments, and Merry Christmas to all out there, and a big shout out to Jesse. Hope you have a good Christmas, mate, and I'll throw a photo up of Jesse wearing the merch t-shirt. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Full Pelt Adventures.